We'll ask Dr. Miller would he lead us in prayer. We'll stand for the pledge in the prayer.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You remain standing to the oath of office. It's on page 4 of the document. You ready, Mr. Mayor? Well, Mr. Messina still looking for his, Mr. St. Page 4. Mr. Messina looking for his. Mr. Mayor, if everybody would raise their right hands, and then we'll recite the oath in unison. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, and that I will faithfully discharge the office of City Council upon which I am now about to enter. Consider yourself sworn in. Mr. Mayor, if you would sign and execute those documents, City Council will be filed with the clerk, Constable with the county clerk, the mayor, district judge with the Secretary of State. So all of y'all's oaths will be filed with the city clerk. At this time, the clerk will call the roll.
Dr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Messina? Mr. St. Columbia?
Present.
Mr. Etherly?
Here.
Ms. Davis? Ms. Miller won't be with us this evening.
Good afternoon. Welcome y'all to the first City Council meeting of the year. First, I want to just say this. With our garbage, follow our there's Facebook page for what is going on, things that are happening. We have 2 trucks that are there. And I want the citizens to understand that we're working to pick the trash picked up as fast as we can. We want to keep you informed. We want to know what's going on with our street sanitation department. So as updates are available, we'll give them to you all so you'll know where we stand on our garbage issue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The agenda, if I could summarize it real quickly, and then we can go through the items. We welcome Mr. Messina, our new council member, former council member. And basically what we typically do is go through the agenda. We got page numbers that take you to each of the items. At item number 8A, we have a Mayor Stevens needs approval to be on the next agenda. 8B is a citizen participation discussion we were going to have. I expected it to be led by Ms. Miller, so we probably won't deal with that tonight. On 9A4, we got the minutes of the December 17th meeting. 9A5, confirmation of appointments to the Airport Commission, as well as the establishment of 2025 holidays. On 9B2A, permission to purchase trucks. And 9B3, payroll resolution that's presented. Before we get to those things, if you go to page 22, it's the state law governing the first council meeting of the year and what we are expected to do. And one of those things is to establish your regular meeting date, time, and frequency. Right now, you meet on the first and third Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m. They would accept holidays or other occurrences like elections and things of that nature. And so if it's your intention to continue that, I guess we can just adopt it by motion. It says you need to discuss without limitation the agenda, the filing resolutions and ordinances and citizen commentary. On this page 22 of the things that you all need to judge or govern. The other thing is you the judges of your membership, and of course we have only one new member, and that's Mr. Adrian Messina, certified by the Election Commission as one of the most recent elections. So is there any desire to change the meeting dates or times or frequency?
What page is the meeting dates on?
22.
We didn't list it, Mr. St. Columbus. But basically the motion is that the mayor is asking for the motion to remain the same. You meet on the first and third Tuesdays
Yeah,
at 6 o'clock.
yeah, that's fine. I move it, as we have in the past.
Mr. St. Columbus moves to keep the meeting on the first and third Tuesday.
First and third.
Yeah. Mr. Davis seconds the motion.
With the holidays like we.
You agree, Ms. Davis? Madam, any discussion?
Second.
No, we wouldn't. Ms. Davis seconds the motion. You have a discussion about having a discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Davis, Mr. St. Columbia.
Yes.
Dr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Messina,
Yes.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
5 yes.
All right.
Welcome back, Mr. Messina.
On the item 8A, that's on this needing approval for the agenda. What we're going to try to do going forward is when people make requests, rather than us just making the judgment calls of whether they're on the agenda or not, we'll put it on the agenda for you to approve for another agenda at a future point. So people don't come and then you don't see them or hear them. So that's why this is put this way. I believe the city attorney may have an opinion on this particular item. I will refresh your recollection that this is about a building that has suffered water damage, mold, mildew type damage next to a drainage ditch. You all authorized, and the administration did clear that drainage ditch from Panama Road to West Street. That didn't completely solve the problem. Then we took a culvert out and discovered that a garbage can had become lodged or trapped in there, and that was causing the water to back up. We did not go through the trash to figure out whose garbage can it was. It did not belong to the city of Helena-West. That problem, the drainage, has been solved as best it can be. It's a low-lying area. Sovereign immunity and other reasons, the city likely not liable for what has happened to the house, although we may humanely have some compassion. I don't want to step on the city toes. But the question is, do we put this on the next agenda? And I guess at this point, y'all may want to hear from the city attorney.
Does you have anything new to present to us? You was here not too long ago.
No, it would be rehashing what's already been presented, unless there's an updated estimate of what the damage, what they would have to repair. We've alleviated the problem. It's not repeating now. The water's flowing out. Yes, sir.
We found a can, is that right? A garbage can down in the sewer line or drain line?
Right, in the culvert.
Oh,
It was probably 40-gallon garbage can was lodged inside of that 24-inch culvert, and that was blocking the flow of the water. And once we got that out, the water flowed
the
better.
water flows okay.
Yeah. What's the attorney?
My opinion is unchanged. Thank you, Mr. Chief of Staff. My opinion is unchanged. I still think that it's a matter that the city is solemnly immune. And while I empathize with them, I think that we begin to open Pandora's box. We have these type of drainage issues all over the city. And I think that, as I've said before, that I think the city is not liable for it. And the city council, y'all have the right to vote and do it, but it would be based on empathy or sympathy versus legality.
So the administration would ask that the council direct the city attorney to submit a letter saying that we've gone as far as we're going to go. And if there's anything else to be done, it won't be done in this room. That's what the administration position is. So we have a motion directing the city attorney to send that letter, then that'll wrap this up.
You want a motion to what now?
Directing the city attorney
Direct the
to
city-
send the letter stating that the city has gone as far as we can legally go. There's no need for it.
It's been done. I thought,
I'm giving verbal opinions. I haven't sent a letter. She's come here probably 4 times. Said that each of the city council meeting this. If that was about it, I'd do it. I'll just send a letter.
Or that being said,
If said you are left or put it on, if I may, date and time, you're just want to remind you all that for the next meeting. Are we going to continue to follow Robert's Rules of Order? And what about citizen input? Now,
that's in Ward 3, and that property in Ward 3.
yeah, the property you're talking about is on Panama Road. Yes,
Yeah.
in Ward 3.
I'm not real familiar.
Well, last thing, somebody was supposed to
The last thing, her mayor and chief of staff went out, they looked at, they removed the garbage can from there, they removed the culvert and flow, and just by refresh your memory, First Baptist Church years ago had retained the engineer and they did a survey of that area. And he fought the issue from Panama Road all the way up Darwin back to there's only like a 1 inch to a 2 inch fall. And the issue is there's always going to be a drainage issue, and it has to be specifically engineered for the ditches has to be maintained. It's a costly issue. That's First Baptist Church. Water flows back to the back of the church, and so they've done a lot of remedial work over there, but water still comes back because the fall is so small. It has to be engineeringly it has to be manipulated through engineering design and maintained consistently for the greater rolling of the water. But when you only have this much fall for a whole square mile, 2 square miles, you're gonna have issue with flooding.
So it sounds like there's really no action to take it. Please everybody else. Mr. Gallagher can just say. I think she can present something new that we haven't heard before. But
I think at this point, the city attorney sends a letter. If it does not resolve it for her, then she has to take other steps. You know, I won't, articulate those steps here, but she has to take other steps. It's not going to be solved by the city council. I don't think it had a legal capacity to do it from a standpoint of fiscal wisdom, or prudence. So now on the meetings, are we going to follow Robert's Rules of Order, and are we at this point changing anything on citizen commentary, or do you want to withhold the citizen commentary part until Ms. Miller's here to address item 8B? So we'll wait on citizen commentary. But Robert's Rules of Order, we're gonna follow Robert's Rules of Order.
No, I think we need to follow the municipal league rule of order rather than the Robert Rule of Order. I'd like to propose that we make a motion that we use the municipal league rules of order rather than the Robert Rules of Order. I'll make that motion.
I second it.
Mr. St. Columbia make a motion to use the
Bill
municipal.
Burns, handbook on the rules. They'll give us all, rather than to use a Robert Rules. Robert Rules of Order is a real thick book. It had, the municipal league rule of order is most apropos, I think, for us. Most of the cities use that.
I can download them. They're on the website.
Yeah.
Send them to everybody.
It's a lot,
It's
yeah.
a simplified version of Robert's Rules of Order. It's kind of what you've been operating on anyway. You haven't been doing the super technical.
I'd like to see us operate on that rather than,
Yes, sir.
if I make that motion that we,
The second by Mr. Messina already.
Sir.
It's been seconded by Mr. Messina already.
okay,
Those books are free. They'll send them to you free.
Yes, sir. You
Right.
download them from the website. I email them to you.
so they'll give us a book.
I get it to you.
In this discussion.
I mean, can you change them later? Can you establish them today and then change them later? I mean, because what I'm saying is, I don't know the difference. I'm sure some other council members may not know what the
If I-
difference is, and so
Lot
they
simpler.
will be voting on something that they don't even know.
Right, if I may, Mr. Treasurer.
And you're using Robert's rule of order
Yeah.
right now.
The,
And so what you're saying now is we don't want to, right now from this meeting, we don't want to do this.
Let them explain.
right, well, here's the simple thing. The municipal league rules of order are derivative. They come from Robert rules, and they just simply want to make them easier for people.
That's right, to
Follow.
understand.
They've said it at every league conference for the past 20-some years I've been there, that they're virtually identical. They just are simple. It's still just a motion, second, those things that we're doing already. So there will be no real difference in what we're doing. We don't get into
No
the,
drastic change. in other words.
we don't get into the hyper-technical parts of rules of order when we're relatively informal anyway. So basically, we've been following the municipal league's role versus a stricter Robert's Rules of Order. So it would be no practical change from what we're doing already. If that answers your question.
Call for this question.
I mean, I don't think I really had a question.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I'm saying is that what would be, you already started this meeting using Robert's Rules of Order, right? And so in the middle of this meeting, you're gonna change, you said, it doesn't really make any difference. I'm just trying to figure out what's the point in bringing it up in person. That's,
It's the desire of the council.
because have we ever had any point, since I've been here in 2015, that we had a problem with a meeting, the proceedings of the meeting, how they were ran, and this wasn't done properly, whatever. So I'm just trying to
You have no
understand.
objection.
I mean, I'm not a councilman. I just want to know what the problem has been over the past years where we've had problems with the meeting, where we need to change the way the meetings are.
It makes it more simpler.
And that's just a comment. That's not.
Yes, sir.
We have to establish one or the other at the beginning of the year, and now's the time to do it if we're gonna do it. So I made the motion, got a second. I call for the question.
We're already in discussion. Let's go to the roll.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
Mr. Messina,
Yes.
Dr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia.
Yes.
Ms. Davis. 1 no, 4 yes, 1 absent.
As it relates to citizens input, the one thing I want to remind you all about, when any discussion about citizens input, is the First Amendment of the United States. First Amendment of the United States covers city council meetings. It covers the discussion that you all want to have admission about citizen participation. And we can address it again that day, but you need to address it tonight, because the one thing the city council can do, it can limit time, place, manner. It cannot limit content. And so when we're discussing this, citizens addressing this body, many bodies don't even allow public content at all, because you've been elected as elected officials, and you all are here to discuss the issue. You can discuss stuff with people wherever, up and down the street, phone calls, text messages, email, and all that, and you're here to discuss it. As it relates to the issue with citizens' input is, there are cases from the United States Supreme Court that if you get into the content of what people are saying, you may be violating their First Amendment rights. The second issue is if you start trying to say, well, I want to give more time on this issue to this person than that person. So typically, but if you're going to have citizen input, you should say, okay, we're going to have 15 minutes overall or 10 minutes overall. Each speaker is allowed 2 minutes or 3 minutes on this issue. But the issue that you have also is the danger that you have in opening up to the public and having them submit questions, et cetera. The First Amendment is so strong with issue in city council meeting. Once you open it up to them, it's open. And if you don't allow a person to speak once you open it up to them, you potentially have violated the First Amendment. And so it's one of those issues, just Fest is misleading us a lot of years ago. The chief of staff was addressing the body, and this body said, we don't want to let him speak. And they saw the video of it, and they were like, ho, y'all violated his civil rights. He didn't sue us or anything like that, but the issue is once you open it up, you can't get upset about this person gonna say this person gonna say that. We can't control the content. We can control such things such as profanity and those type of things, but the issue specific, the city can't control. And then the issue is, for as the public forum, if somebody else, who's monitored, who answers questions, did you deny the person because you didn't see the question? Did you see the question? How are you going to respond to all of that? And the Municipal League and I have always taken a more conservative approach to citizens' input, that the citizens need to get on the agenda and they have a time frame to speak on a particular issue versus opening up wide. Now, when we were doing the water issue, we allowed open forum because we wanted to get from so many people, everybody talked about it. But the issue is the First Amendment of the United States, and if this body does something to limit a person's speech, you could run afoul to the United States Constitution. And that's why so many government bodies don't allow people to speak, and they compel them to get on the agenda and do not want to address the issue. And it's not that you're trying to control a person's speech, but the issue is you have to treat everybody fairly. And for instance, what if the person gets up there and they say, I want to talk about the garbage? Then they start bashing you personally. Can't control the content. You got to let them speak for 3 minutes. Yes. And then the other thing we've had, Mr. Monday, I can tell you that there have been some times that I was Zoom meeting with hijack with people putting all kind of crazy stuff on it. It happened at least twice. But go ahead.
Okay, my two questions. Okay, so I hear you, and I'm everything you're saying makes complete sense. So, but I did find in the cases with the water situation where people, they had particular plans, ideas or different things. So I found that their ideas were helpful in that situation. So I guess my question is, a situation like that, and then that's my first question. And then sometimes, like, for instance, we've been talking, and then there's some experts that happen. They're just sitting in the audience, and they know the answer to every question we have. And we say, "Hey, so and so, come up to, tell us." So, just how does all that feel?
If you were to do so, you got to tell them you have this long to speak, and someone else can speak on the counter to whatever they're saying.
So we combining those times.
You combine in those times. The issue is, the city council said that exactly what it is. And part of the reason why I advise that is so that if a person starts attacking you personally, I'm talking about government, sometimes people, you personally say, wait a minute, you need to stick to the issue. If you just let it on the agenda, then you can't go off. They say, okay, you can come here and start speaking, say whatever you want to say, because you haven't made it specific. And so that's why past citizens have been told to be on the agenda when you know what your topic is. And it's not that you're trying to control the content. The issue is you want to order meetings, those kind of things, and you want to make sure going forward. Free speech here is limited because you're on the air, profanity and no kind of thing. But out on the sidewalk, they want to be out there as long as they're not making any disturbance out there. They can use profanity, do whatever. It's free speech. They can have signs to say whatever. And so, but the Constitution of the United States is so compelling and so strong that what we have to have is we have to narrowly tailor the issue for the least intrusion possible when we narrowly tailor the issue, and we must have a compelling state interest in doing so.
I think it's a great idea. It's really, it's really interesting. I'm just concerned about it because it seems like it would be too taxing on us. I don't understand. But just to try to police all of that with all the different that you have to do to monitor what people are saying and what they're asking, how they're saying, the time constraints.
Well,
We had a professional monitor to look over. I could be kind of tough to do that.
Well, Dr. Miller, you raised a very excellent point. You keep using the word "must" per, and that's part of the problem. It's one of those things like I emailed you a year ago, emailed you again last year. 2 years ago, then last year, the Supreme Court started to regulate you have pay public was private, whom you can block posts from, etc. In your public capacity, and you're gonna let whatever come on. Comments at all. We can't really contact.
Yeah.
So monitoring, we're getting into this content of
You can't regulate content. Somebody can get on their site, on the Facebook page.
the Supreme Court opinion that we cannot end them and also things that if it's a public page for a public purpose.
Well, but if it's within with the community, just be lewd. I know that's from broadcasting, lewd or
Right.
then you could monitor that. Or, if it was lewd or
To some degree.
yeah, if it was,
Because when you may not be able to, we have for social media.
The term about community status always been
Right. Exactly. And we're getting weeds on, but the thing about it is, as it relates to the First Amendment, it is strict as far as government's ability to be able to regulate content of what someone saying. We regulate time, space, and time. We get into these open forums, etc. People say whatever. People have passionate opinions about government. People have passionate opinions about what's going on, and people have no regard for decorum when they start on to bash the government. And that's not done around. No, but some people are specific and some people that come to government, they don't say whatever they want to say. I don't want to say it.
Say there's only time. Say it's question. No, no questions.
I think, I'm sorry, you finished? I think it's a practical issue. Question important. Every question has to be given. If you're saying all the organized questions, then we have to address every question that's asked.
Everybody's not gonna have the
Right. That is a practical problem, and you'll also have compelling which is actually almost only more. But person you got to answer all those. You got to.
Go ahead. The first one was,
I think what you were trying to ask is what we did in the past, like when we had the water discussion, was that okay?
Yes.
And I mean, you said that, but you were talking about, I think you were actually addressing the broader proposal to let people go on Zoom and have an open forum. And so those are two different things.
Right.
The people can come and they can get on the agenda. If we let them on the agenda and somebody has some counter information or argument that they want to make, we have to allow them on the agenda as well. But open forum is Dave's talking about. I'm not for. The citizens have council representatives. If they have questions, they can contact those representatives. So question. Typically, what I tell people if I don't know is I don't know. I'll try and get the answer for you. But I think just to have an open forum is something that we wouldn't be able to control once you open it up. So my position is, if they want to get on the agenda, there's directions and instructions for what you have to do to get on the agenda.
Right.
And then they can come forward, they can speak to the body, they can present whatever they want to present. But the open session essentially allows the entire, you don't know if they live here or not, it's online. And it allows everybody to join the council meeting. And that's just chaos at that point. And so I think just in order, somebody wants to get on it, and then it's also so that we beforehand, so that we know what they're here to talk about. And if they want to have a council member ask a question, they can always call somebody and say, "Hey, can you address this issue for me?" And that's what's most efficient.
Right. Because the standing policy is they have to get on the agenda, the citizen will get on the agenda and state what is the issue they're going to discuss. I have one issue, three people wanted to get on the agenda and they all went out speak. And then we went back and forth, people would get to speak over there.
But people can't come to the.
If so, allow it, but we can't, you haven't allowed it. We have allowed in the past when everybody has allowed it, you get on the agenda.
Yeah.
Once you open it, the forum, it's open, and then
I think we need to make a habit of clients. Sometimes there is somebody that's actually sitting out there, they have the answer to our questions. I don't want to be in a situation where we say, well, you're on the agenda. That's all.
in those instances, what you've done is a motion second and allowed a discussion on this limited. And once they we're going to give this first 3 minutes. So we're going to give 15 minutes. The proper way. So the question, the reason I said on this organization, staying with the same traditional way you've operated as people having to get on the agenda, the mayor's office, etc. Now your policy has also been Dr. Brought up the minimum allow on you. You would set a time frame for we're going to discuss it this many minutes and speak this long on the issue.
I say it's separating line from everything else. So we're going to look at it as another something. Later, I said, put it all together. So Max is back. She's been researching that and talking to folks, and like David said to us, and we can vote it up or vote it down.
Does the ordinance address it?
So I mean, there's nothing we can do about it anyway. I mean, there's already an ordinance in place. So I guess what I'm asking is if there's an ordinance, then we'd have to change the ordinance. So.
But I think the part of the first order of this is after we constitute the right term.
Right.
Well, let's take a discussion. If you can keep it the same as other, but you still want to explore the issue that Mrs. Miller wants to discuss, you all can leave it at that. That you're going to keep it the same. We're going to come back to this issue just so we can move forward and have consistent what we're doing. But if you later want to come back and change and say, hey, how we want to do it, we're going to have a more robust discussion on it. Still gonna do that.
Cool.
Right, go ahead.
About Zoom or whatever, we can talk about it.
Yes, sir. That's fine.
There's nothing to where what we're going to try is so locked in that if you came overwhelmed and if we wanted to do something, we could still do it. That's all.
Right.
I just want to hear out because she's been working on it. That's all. So I will put that in motion. So moved.
So we'll put that on the 17th agenda.
Well, I think if I'm hearing correctly, we can say in the regular or as it relates to open keep the file.
It was just remaining unchanged. And you got an ordinance in place that already says that.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know if there's any need to take any action, but we'll leave the remainder on the agenda for 17th or another meeting.
17.
Well, that's 8B, right? You said the 17th?
Whatever the date is. I'm sorry.
Next meeting.
The day after the inauguration of
Right, because I was at the 17th. I think there'll be at the Mr. Lee conference.
the day after King Holiday. How about that?
Okay.
Mr. Bell,
Yes, sir.
I noticed regarding the banking information, the signatory.
Right. The clerk sent that to us as we were going through it. I guess we missed it.
Okay.
To put it on the final agenda, but we have to do a banking resolution, so we'd ask for a motion to approve the banking resolution, and the change, as I understand it, is one change from Ms. Diane Tyler, who has retired, to a different person in the circuit clerk's office, Ms. Sandra Clash. Other bank signatories will remain the same as they are at this point. Who are they? If my memory is correct, then they can correct me. On the general fund, street fund, and things like that here in this building, it's the mayor, clerk, city treasurer, Alderman Etherly, and Ms. Diane Tyler. Those 5 people. You need any combination of 2 signatures after the mayor has approved the expenditure. And then the AP commission, and they, I don't remember who signed their checks. Mr. Etherly, can you tell us who does that?
Me and Patrick Robinson.
So that would remain unchanged at this point.
Yes.
So it's just that the only change that's being requested is Ms. Diane Tyler with Ms. Sandra Clash. My understanding.
You're talking about on the bank
Yeah,
signature.
the person who had the ability to sign the second signature on the desk. Instead of Ms. Tyler, who's retired, Ms. Clash, who works for the clerk as well. And she's been, I don't know how long she's been there, a long time. It's about 30 years, huh?
Yes, 1998.
So 26.
Well, we don't have to decide that tonight, do we?
How long does the resolution have?
That has to be voted on.
I mean, how long, like the last resolution from last year, would that carry into?
Resolution is just temporary in nature. It's there until
It's on one.
till you change it. If you want to do it tonight, you can. If you want to defer it, you still have 4 signatories. If you want to put additional time to discuss it. The bank has to have a resolution to change the signature.
So you need to draw up a resolution to put the people on there.
If you did a motion, I could do the resolution.
You do the resolution and they just sign it, but
Right.
the question, Mr. St. Columbia, would be, I guess, what other information do you need? What is it that's concerning you about who signs the check?
Well, who are all who's signing the checks now?
Mr. Etherly, Mr. Franklin, Mr. Turner, Ms. Ramsey, and you have a non-city employee who's still able to sign. You take them to her, she can sign legally until you change. And we're asking you to
You
change.
probably need some context. Me and Miss Tyler were emergency signers. And so sometimes we get a call from, she would be here in the building. If she wasn't available, they would call me and say, nobody's here, nobody's in town, can you come by and sign this check? So Ms. Ramsey or Mr. Franklin or the treasurer might once every 6 months call me, say, say, can you come over and sign a check? That's about how often it happens. And so Ms. Tyler is retired. And so what he's trying to tell you is if you have a person who no longer has any affiliation with the city who's authorized to sign checks. So as a business proposition, you probably don't want that to happen.
Who would, work with you to sign the check?
Business class, we don't do it.
Okay. We can do her then, okay?
Yeah, she's
All
on.
right.
That's what we just said.
Well,
I'm just trying to get information. Guys.
right, one thing that we want to clearly establish, Chief of Staff said it, but I want to place emphasis on it. No check is supposed to be written without the mayor's prior authorization for the expenditure. And so the check, who's signing the checks and et cetera, comes after the legal requirement for the mayor to approve the expenditure. And so as a household matter, the three primary signers are right here in the administrator. The others are emergency signers, which would be Ms. Ethley and another party, because Ms. Tyler has retired and she's actually, the clerk is asking for her deputy, Sandra Clash, to be the signer. And that's what the motion is. That's what the request is.
Actually, me, the clerk have probably signed over 90%.
Yeah.
So we
Sure,
signed the
it's all.
bulk of the checks. I would say 95%.
It requires 2 signatures.
It was no big issue.
Yeah, each one required. And for historical sake, you and Mr. Messina, and Ms. Davis, and Mr. Franklin, y'all voted for me to be a signer on the checks. I didn't make it.
Change that.
You can have. Yeah, you can
No, I don't sign the check.
I'm just saying, y'all voted for me to be on there. That's how I got on. For anybody who has any questions, I got on there because you voted for me. I think Mr. Messina did.
Somebody wants to sign the check.
He might want to, yeah.
I nominate him to put sign.
Oh, just add him. Just add him. Let you vote.
Put, on there.
That's fine, but let's get over. We're taking a lot of time for nothing.
I move that we put Mr. Messina on there.
Okay, I said.
So does your motion include Ms. Clash?
And Mr. Messina.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Messina? Okay. That's all the problem.
There's a motion to add Mr. Sandy Clash and Mr. Adrian Messina to the check signing and remove Mrs. Diane Tyler. Any discussion?
Your second?
Yeah, we already said. It is this. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Dr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia.
Yes.
Mr. Etherly,
Yes.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Messina, 5 yes.
100%.
All right. So we just go to the minutes of the found on page 9.
The key thing is to remember.
What page is it on?
Maybe on page 11. Looks like page 11 of the minutes start. Those stuff.
I move we approve the minutes of the.
Mrs. St. Columbia moves to approve the minutes as printed. Is there a second? Mr. Miller seconds the motion. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Mr. Etherly.
Yes.
Mr. Messina.
Yes.
Mr. St. Columbia.
Yes.
Dr. Miller.
Yes.
Ms. Davis, 5 yes.
All right, next agenda item is under 9A5, confirmation of airport commission appointments. Mayor, that's something you want to go forward with tonight?
Yes. You have these
Well,
names.
that's on page 15.
You have these names that's been submitted, and I would like for you to approve these names for the airport commission.
Mr. Mayor, in all due respect, that airport is most important to this community.
It is.
I don't like the idea of going in and replacing all these people at one time. You're making large change with these names you got here. I suggest that we ask the commission that exists to set up a time limit where one every year comes off, and you can make a nomination of that person each year to replace that person,
I'll do
rather than to change all these people at one time like this. You got to have some experience and knowledge of what aviation. I think the law requires that one of them have a license, I believe, or have knowledge of aviation. It's required that one of them on there has it. I don't like the idea of going in and moving all these people at one time. I think that your suggestion's good, but I think that doing all this at one time is not good for the community.
I'm glad you said that, but you have these names, either you're gonna vote it up or down. That's
Yeah.
it.
But you recommend,
I recommend people, because when the terms expire, you said where I said you made no movement on that. So now it's time to replace these people. It's time to move forward. It is time.
the five people that are on there now
They have been on there for
are Joe
years.
Howe,
Yeah.
Bill Brothers, Eddie Schiffler, John King, and Cora Mundy. And I think that we'll just leave them alone right now. Ask the commission to tier their, set it up to where one of them, let them decide which one's gonna come off first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then we'll make that decision from there.
And I respect that, but we did that. They made no recommendation at all. Their term expired. Most of these folks' terms have expired. Did nothing then, and it's time to do something that Mrs. Apora Monday was the last.
Well, tearing up the
Excuse
commission.
me. You say we need a pilot. Snap is pilot. Mr. Rydell is pilot. Mr. King will remain there, and Mrs. Apora Monday will remain. So I'm asking. I understand your position, but I'm asking for a vote. If it fails, it
I
fails.
see where you're coming from.
Okay. So that I submitted to a list. And this is where we are.
I disapprove of it.
Well, is there a motion?
I make a motion that we leave the group as it is and ask the commission to rotate.
Commission doesn't have that authority.
That's there.
The
Joe
commission
Howe,
doesn't have that
Bill
authority.
Brothers, Eddie Schiffler, John King to set up a.
Mr. St. Columbia, you have a state statute and a city ordinance.
City ordinance,
that tells you how you run the airport commission appointments.
Yeah,
And I don't say this as relates to these people, the three new ones that are here or the five that exist. What the ordinance says and the state law says, the mayor
mayor's
has
appointment.
a single appointment of his own, and then he makes the other
I
four.
object to that part. Clear. He
Well,
does
that's the
not
state
have
law,
majority to
But hold on, let me finish. The state law, the mayor appoints, essentially, the mayor gets to appoint people to the commission. The council vote them up or down.
Right,
That's
we have
it.
the approval.
But that's it. You don't get to say, let the commission stay or bring somebody else or any of that stuff. The mayor makes the nomination, you vote it up or down. That's the law.
One person.
For all.
Oh,
That's what your ordinance says and what state law says.
I object to it.
Well, you got to talk to your state representatives about changing the law, because that's what the law says.
I'm not trying to change the law.
You're not trying to comply with it either.
I've got a copy of it right here.
Okay, let's read it. You ready? Tell us what it says.
I'll tell you what it says.
Oh, go ahead.
It says that the commission shall consist of 5 members, all of whom shall be qualified voters of the city of Helena-West, Helena, Arkansas. Be appointed by the mayor of Helena and shall be confirmed by 3/4 vote of the city council. Sir?
That's what I just told you.
Okay.
But you don't.
You read what I told you?
I'm not trying to change the law. I think going in and foolishly change all these people at one time is not the way to go.
What the ordinance say about that? Does it mention foolishly at all? Does it mention that? Does it mention you can't change them all in all?
Community and not
Does
persons
the
that I might
ordinance,
want to place on there.
does the ordinance you just read mention any of that stuff?
Okay, okay.
That's all I.
well,
I
Mr. Columbia,
disapprove. of what you're trying to do here.
But you said that,
That's fine.
you said,
Not for the benefit of the people of this community or our airport. And you're gonna destroy the commission out there if you go put all these, if you go make wholesale change like that. And I disagree.
Mr. St. Columbia, you said, didn't you say that Zipporah Monday and John King are already there?
Sir,
Didn't you say Zipporah Monday and John King are already there?
I don't understand.
When you read your list,
Yeah, Joe House, Bill Brothers, Eddie Scheffler, John King, and Sephora. They're on the commission now.
right? So Zipporah Monday and John King are already there, right?
Those are the people that are on there. I'm saying don't go in and wholesale change it.
They stand.
Huh?
You got,
On the page 15, those two are staying, is what the mayor has done. He's actually
He
doing,
wanted to change 3 of them, I know.
right. And so the issue is,
if one, you got
I'm not gonna vote for it.
Well, that's fine. But it's a motion on the floor. Second, we'll see what
Who made the motion?
if there's.
Okay,
I mean, so I mean, you know,
that's my opinion.
that's right.
I'm entitled to it. I represent the people of this community, and I think going in and doing something like this on our airport is not the right way to go.
Is there a motion to approve these
Mayor's request.
requests? Davis moves to approve appointments. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of.
Dies for lack of second.
All right, item 952. Holiday calendars on page 7. As New Year's, Dr. King Day, President's Day, George Washington's birthday, days of Sebastian Gates, Daisy Gaston Bates Day, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, and Indigenous Persons Day, Veterans Day, and 2 days for Thanksgiving and 2 days.
In the past.
Yes, sir. Single change is
I move
Juneteenth.
we accept those holidays scheduled as
Accept the dates that are printed. Mr. Miller, second the motion. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Ms. Davis? Mr. St. Columbia?
Yes.
Dr. Miller? Mr. Messina?
Yeah.
Mr. Etherly?
Yes.
5 yes.
The last 2 items you have, is permission to purchase trucks and the payroll, resolution.
He brought this up the last meeting we had. I wanted to change the bi-weekly to, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
That's the payroll.
Yeah,
Yes,
is that what you're talking about? Listen, buying a truck,
This proposal, of course, this just came off the front of doing this meeting. We've been working on this for several days. But it's a proposal to buy a Mack rear loader truck that's 20 yards with 2 cart tippers to pick up the residential waste. It's to purchase a Kenworth 40-yard commercial front loader to pick up the commercial waste, and it's to buy a Mack knuckle boom truck, and I believe that one is 30 yards. And it has proposed invoices here from River City Hydraulics. And I believe there's a proposal on, there's a commercial capital company that's proposing to finance these items. And I see a knuckle boom here from Arkansas. So we're going 2 and 1. 2 from River City and 1 from Arkansas Municipal Equipment. On the monthly payments, which is on the last page of the document, they presented us with 3 options. One is 5 years of $16,000. One is 6 years of $13,000. This is monthly payment. One is 7 years at $12,000. Some might ask, how do you finance for greater than 60 months? And there's been some methodologies they've used, kind of like a balloon payment that you pay for 5 years and then finance for 2 years to get beyond the 60 months. But at any rate, the knuckle boom truck that you authorized us to rent earlier this year, earlier in 2024, and the front end loader, they were about $20,000 a month just for those 2 trucks. And this is for 3. And if you get those 3, you'll see your trash servicing time cut down significantly. We still have, just as a status, on the commercial front end loaders, you have one at River City, not River City, at Tri-State in Memphis. It's waiting on you to send $54,000 for them to order the motor and then put the motor in and then make some other changes to it, including realigning the rear end because the truck kind of went down the road semi-sideways because the rear end is out of line. The one that we spent $50,000 or $60,000 on last year and got back and put into service, it's being taken to Memphis because the injectors are out. It's going to be a fairly simple fix, but we had a cylinder that would not push the trash out. They did a quick fix on it for $300 or $400. We got it back. It worked for 3 or 4 months, but it's not working now. And so that's going to probably have to be replaced. I think it's $10,000 to $12,000. 6 what? Maybe $6,000. But the first time we did it for $300, so we opted to do that. It worked for a few months, and it stopped working. On the knuckle boom trucks, that's the grapple trucks, right? We own 3 of them. 2 of them have been cannibalized to keep one of them running. So you got one that's running, and it's on this probably last leg. So that's kind of where we are. You know, we tried to buy some trucks maybe in 2023 and then 2024, but water appropriately took precedent over everything else. And so that's kind of what the proposal is. This has not been bid like sending the bids out to anybody. And okay, we're looking for a truck. Who can give us the best price? And we've had different vendors competing to offer the best price, and we were at about $860,000, and we negotiated it down to $805, and by using a combination of the vendors, so we're getting what we feel like is a good price. The other thing I tell you from a bidding standpoint is that typically the vendor tells you what you should put in the bid, right? And what happens is that vendor will end up winning the bid because if you get Mack chassis, there's a Mack truck. One vendor in Arkansas that might sell the Mack truck or the Peterbilt or the Freightliner or the Kenworth or whatever it is that you put in there. And so bidding is not always what it's chopped up to be because you put the bid specs in there that nobody else can beat, then they don't have any competition in bidding. And so we think we've done an effective job with this. At some point, certainly we need you to approve this, but at some point we're going to have to look closely at what we do going forward to make sure that all of this stuff is fiscally sound. But not picking up the trash is not an option. So now we've
pick up the trash.
We've gotten some contractors who have agreed to do work for us, right? But they're gonna cost you more than the people that you use. So you can farm it out, but because depending on sanitation fee, it probably wouldn't be prudent. We've got a proposal right now for like $177 an hour to run the commercial truck, and we pay the waste, right? We already paying the guy $150,000 a month an hour to pick up commercial waste. We paid him over $100,000. We probably could have bought a truck by now. So one of those things what we want to try to do is get back to our guys doing the work and get equipment that our mechanics can manage and that our guys can take care of. And when there's a failure on the rear loader, what I've always recommended the rear loader is when the mechanics fail on it, you can still dump trash in it and pick it up. But when the mechanics fail on that ASA, automatic side load, it's over. You can't pick up the trash because the container that goes in is about 12 feet and a half. And you can't throw it up there. The trash falls down on you. It's not practical. So right now we got 2 side loader trucks, number 55 that pulls us down the road and leaks, and number 32 that goes a little faster, but it crushes the cans and slams them down and busts them.
And I've seen that happen.
Yeah, that's the truck doing that.
What you're saying, I totally agree with. We need the trucks, and we need the right kind of trucks, and we need our people taking care of it. My question is, can we afford this $805,000? We haven't approved the budget. We've got to look at the budget. You know, you can't, if anybody knows anything about trucks, I do, because I had a beer company that we had 6 big trucks that I had with 18 wheelers and all.
Yes.
And I took care of them, and that business never had a problem like we've got. We've got some severe problems on our trucks, and they break down all the time. I used to have a maintenance program set up for mine all the time. That's why I never had the problems.
Yes.
But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, I agree with you. We need trucks, and we need some good trucks, and they'll get the job done. We need our people to do it. But financially, can we handle that? Can we do it financially? $805,000.
Right.
And I asked the treasurer, secretary, they're strained and stressed for money all the time. We need the budget to be able to handle that.
Yes, sir. Well, it's a twofold thing. You know, certainly, can you afford it, right? And the second thing is, can you not afford it? Can you afford to leave the trash on the ground? Now, just in full disclosure, ADEQ has received complaints that we're not picking up trash and that we're letting people, houses and businesses become infested with rats because we're not picking up trash, right? That's what the complaint is. And so the inspector came today to see that you go to that location, to the other location, and pick up the trash. And of course we had, but it's much slower picking it up with the knuckle boom truck than it is with the grapple truck. Just for example, for the people listening for your sake, the front end loader pulls up, and in 30 seconds it has picked the can up and dumped it, and it's leaking. The knuckle boom truck pulls up, and it takes the driver a minute to get out the truck, and then get on the platform, and then let out the left outrigger and the right outrigger, and then get everything situated, and then lift the arm, and it takes probably a minute to go over into the can, and then pick up a bit and dump it, and pick up a bit and dump it. It's about 5 or 6 minutes per can, as opposed to 30 seconds per can. And it tears up the can. That I already know good, and that you've had it for 25 years.
What you're saying, I totally agree. It's just a matter of money now.
I think it's wonderful. I wish we could get as many trucks as we can purchase. I heard this that could be true, could not be true. That some trucks were repoed. Is that true? And the only reason why I asked that, not for embarrassment, the only reason why I asked that is because I want to know, are we replacing something that we lost, or is this in addition?
No trucks have been repossessed.
Okay, good.
Nobody would take our trucks.
Okay, good.
Repo man would come and say, I'm gonna leave them. That's the shape thing. Okay, but our trucks are paid for.
Okay.
We were renting some trucks, and we stopped renting them. And so those trucks from BTR, Big Truck Run, we no longer have those 2 trucks. And commensurate with those trucks leaving, the rumor started that they were repoed.
But now you're trying to get these to take care of those, or is it something? You're trying to get these to replace that pocket that's missing with the
No,
road.
Well, it could be to replace that pocket, but really those were to supplement what we had. They were replacing trucks that were down. And those trucks are still down. You know, we got one running. So we were running 2 knuckle boom trucks. And we got down to just 1. And then we got the room, we got up to 2 again.
Mr. Bass.
I think so. I think it's
Hold on, just let me say this. And I know, Ms. Bass, thank you for that. But the thing that gets me is this. You all sit around this table, you listening audience, you all know what's going on. Now, we rented some trucks and we've been renting trucks. We paying a guy to come and empty our trash, and you all sit here and tell me this right here, what we can't afford. And we just paid a guy $20,000. We paid big truck renters $20,000. But you say, but listen to how you sound. Is you telling me this? Can we afford it? But you're paying for it already. Ms. Ramsey, Mr. Treasurer, I'm not going to ask y'all nothing because your trash getting picked up for somebody to say something was repoed, it was rented, but we still paying it. We paid big truck renters almost $100,000. We paid somebody that's almost $100,000. That's a truck right there. And but what we can say is this: stop it. It's not making me look bad as the mayor, making y'all look bad. Because wait a minute, because the clerk and the treasurer gonna pay whatever it is. They pay the lights. And here we are every time we come to these citizens, I wanna wait, but we're spending money. We're spending money. You know your garbage been picked up when you come to your driveway and you see a big old wet spot. That's hydraulic fluid that we wasted. We're paying money for hydraulic fluid. We got a guy that comes from Meridian, Mississippi, to help us with our trash. You're paying him for that. But now commercial, we're gonna pay somebody to help us get commercial, and you're paying $20,000 to $40,000, but you see here tonight, can we afford it? People don't want to hear that. They pay that $38 or whatever they pay for sanitation. They pay it, and they want their trash picked up. Now, we go social media. You see it. You don't want your garbage in front of your house. These restaurants don't want their trash in front of their house. All that going back and forth like we little kids, and you know what we need? It's like Liberty Mutual. You have to pay for what you need. At this point, we need it. All that asking, saying it, asking Ms. Ramsey, asking the treasurer, they cutting the check to pay these folks to come in and dump the trash anyway. And we losing money. So why ask the question? Let's make some moves. All this dragging, let's make some moves. Let's get this trash picked up. All that answering the side question, can we? If you go get the truck, if not, leave it alone. Because guess what? We're gonna find a way. We've been finding with all this discussion and going back. We'll get these trucks or not. Let these folks move on and let's go to something else. I ain't gonna spend all night here going back and forth with y'all about what we're gonna do and what we ain't gonna do. You see, this is what it is. It's gonna be. It ain't gonna be on me. I've asked you all to get them. I asked you all. I've been here 3 years now. When I first got in, I tried to get some trucks. We drug our feet. Don't wait. If I asked the clerk and the treasurer to give me all the money we spend on picking or renting trucks, you could have bought a new truck. That's what I should have had to do it. And I get, because you all don't sign the checks. But now, Mr. Messina, since you're going to sign some checks, hopefully we'll bring this garbage truck, these vendors, this garbage, you can see these checks. If y'all not going to do that, let's move forward. Let's start wasting this time.
So you feel like the money we're spending renting, we could be buying?
No, you said that you ran a truck company. You should know that this is gonna help us instead of asking that question. You
Don't point your finger at me.
You said, Mr. St. Columbia said that he ran a beer company. You should know that, right? Well, you should know.
I own my truck, and they didn't repossess.
Well, we ain't got nothing to repossess. We rent it. Understand that, businessman. Now let's
You're gonna pay more if you rent it.
What? Yeah. Take your own advice. We're gonna pay more, and we're still paying more until you decide that we're gonna get these trucks. Let's stop the dialogue. Let's get a motion and a second to get these trucks. That's all I want to hear. That's what it is. Let's get a motion and a second.
Mr. Ballard, can I ask you a question? A couple of questions.
Yes, sir, Mr. Thompson.
Okay, I'm looking at I guess that's the last page. It was the last page where it says commercial capital conformal proposal. Yeah, the page that has the three different options.
Yes, sir, it's the last page.
Okay.
Commercial capital company.
Yeah,
I
so,
believe those are the people that finance our landfill equipment.
It is.
okay, so, I see one that, the first question I have is that there is a statutory limit on how long you finance the equipment, right? I heard you say about the balloon payment.
Right, that's the 5 years.
So is that,
The constitutional requirement.
okay, so I guess what I'm asking is, when I see 7 years, is that straight 7 years, or would that be the 5 years with the balloon payment?
5 years with the balloon payment.
Or would the 5 year be the,
They presented it as 7 years.
so
And
7
of
years
course,
would pay it
because
off?
they are doing this financing, my assumption at this point is that they know what our Constitution is and how this will work with our Constitution. So for us, the payment would be monthly. We'd just be paying whatever that is, 4 months as opposed to 60. Now, I hadn't done this on how they get those additional 24 months.
So that's what,
But the bond companies I talked about, other bonds, have talked about how they're doing that. So I can't answer any specific in terms of how that meshes with our Constitution.
so you don't know if either one of these payments has a balloon payment? Like, would these payments pay the principal off in full in 5, 6, or 7 years?
Right. Now, they would pay the full $805,000
In
over
these?
either one of those terms.
Okay, so neither one of these has a balloon payment.
Neither one of them have a balloon in the sense of at the end. I said the only way you can get to the 6th year is that you got a 5-year payment and a balloon for that last year, and they're gonna give you 12 months to pay it. You follow me?
Mr. Turner, one of the things about, I would say, until we see the actual instrument, until I actually read it, a lot of questions you actually see the financing document. Because right now you just said, general, this is a quote.
Okay, so why would we even consider it? We don't, so why would we,
I haven't seen the document with actually.
but, and that's why I want some clarification on. You're saying that none of these, to your knowledge, would contain a balloon payment?
Not at the end of the term, no.
Okay. So the other 5 option would be the 5 year. Be the first.
At the beginning of the document, it tells you it's a finance ownership contract. No residual value in this contract.
Okay.
Meaning at the end of this payment, we will be given the title to the vehicle.
Okay, so option 2 and option 3 would be off the table right now, because we couldn't do the 6 months.
Well,
You couldn't
That-
finance for 6 years.
the Constitution allows 60 months. Now, how they get into these other payments, I don't know. The state is one to do, yes, it's the 60 months. And then you don't have to worry about the rest of it.
And had we, in full disclosure, we had talked about, me and you have talked about the possibility of raising sanitation fees just enough to pay for whatever this would be or whatever equipment that we need in sanitation. Because the question is, how would you pay for it? First of all, we would be getting the sanitation fees that are already due to us because of the increase in
Water. Yes.
And so what we had discussed potentially.
Well, potentially, you could pay $16,000 a month at $5 and some change per customer. What I suggest is that you do is maybe $1.25, and then in the next year you go up to the $2.50 kind of thing. All of it wouldn't go on the customers at this point. Some of it would be just basically your operating costs, and you're gonna save some of it because you're already spending it on either repairs, breakdowns, rental, or something else. Anyway, so yeah, if you were just to purely place this monthly payment onto the customers, it's about $5 a month.
You raise the customer's fee $5 a month to pay for these trucks?
No, that's not what I said. I said if that's what you were to do.
If that's what you were to do.
If you chose to take the whole payment and pay for it with new dollars, it'll be about $5 a month on the customer. He's just telling you what we had talked about in the other room on a different day, that you would do maybe $1 if you did anything.
$1.
Dollar, quarter, some small amount to do some of the costs. That'll get you about $4,000 a month. The other money you have to pay, the funds that you already get. But with the water rate increase at this point, I'm not suggesting you raise anything. It's just you're going to see some daylight based on the collection from the water department. The water will become independent, and the financially independent, and the sanitation department will get its money on a regular and predictable basis, as opposed to what the water company can afford to do without.
I look at this, and I just say this: when you look at your sanitation fee, you look at all these things, the maintenance on these trucks. When I was going to city council, I was at a plan package to have maintenance. Well, a lot of times we could never get the trucks maintenance on them because we have people 24/7. So we have never really ran these departments like departments. And now that we're trying to run this city like a city, it is scary to people to hear increase. But it's been so long that this city has been ran like it is, and you're trying to put things in place to make sure that we can get new trash cans, new dumpsters. The country should have to have a regular can and a regular dumpster, but we have no way to pay for stuff. You start showing people that you're doing what you say you're doing, but I've been trying to get trust. We're doing what we need to do to make sure the water's running, police, so you all got to try to work with me, because it's I don't want to be hostile to all, but make decisions. It's best like my politics of my staff. But then it's trash off the street. We're paying vendors to come in and help us get our trash up. We're losing money both ways. And Mr. Turner and I will sign a check for $45,000 to River City for equipment to fix these trucks, and we get them back with we got to send $40,000 previous days. This is happening. So we're trying to get our guys trained. We're trying to make sure we can roll this city right. So we need these trucks.
What type of warranty do these trucks have?
Let me what's on the proposal. There's been discussions of between 2 and 5 years. On the estimate number 2319, powertrain reload a 20-yard truck. It's showing a 12-month body warranty on there. It's got a 3-year warranty. Looks like on the truck itself, they call it the chassis, I guess, what I'm hearing from the back. So that's the body of the truck. The 12 months is on some of the other options. So 3-year warranty on that one was like $100. That's 23,700. I don't know.
3-year warranty on all of them?
On the chassis.
Is it bumper to bumper? Is that just, I mean, so they're mechanical function. That's what breaks down the mechanics, not the fender. So,
Right. So the 3-year would certainly be on the motor and the transmission, the chassis. Saying bumper to bumper, a bunch of moving parts on those trucks. I imagine it's not going. I would imagine it's not on all of it. But it's saying chassis only 23 years on this document here.
3-year warranty.
Yes, sir. It's on 23-8-19 says 3 years, 23 says 3 years.
Your engine.
And after treatment.
After treatment. 2 years. That was
1 year body.
1 year.
That's the number 20 was the last. And it has a proposed date, if you approve them, January the 9th on the Mack truck loader, the Kenworth front loader, and the 14th or 15th on the new boom.
Service and maintenance of these trucks are very important.
Yes, sir.
What plan do you have to service the trucks and then give it maintenance, preventive maintenance?
Yes, sir. What I'd recommend is that, once a quarter, you schedule to take them to Tri-State in Memphis and let them go through the truck thoroughly. Because our shop itself wasn't built for trucks that are this big or this long. You can't get inside. So our mechanics typically get on their backs on the ground in the mud and water and other stuff to work on these trucks. We're just not outfitted in those shops to work on these trucks. They're not like a pickup truck where you can just put it on a lift and raise it up. So you get on the ground, hydraulic jack, and at least quarterly, take them to the shop in Memphis Tri-State or take them somewhere in the
Cost of that?
The cost is going to be cheaper than the truck being torn up and not operational. I don't know the cost. I haven't gotten the specific cost, Mr. Sankin. I'm not meaning to sound smart.
That's what I used to do with my trucks, preventive maintenance.
Yes, sir.
I did it every month.
Yes, sir. We need to do that. Change the oil, all of those things that need to happen. There needs to be laws. There needs to be reports produced where you know that it's being done. But all of the trucks, the front-end loaders are 2018 trucks. The knuckle broom are 2015, 2016, or something like that. The new ones, we have one that's even older than that. So they probably could have lasted longer than they have, but they have been used quite a bit over the years. And, all of this, the maintenance and stuff, reflection on the total city. What I mean by that, some of the damage that happens to our trucks or anybody's truck happens in our landfill. You're driving over trash, and you never know what you're going to run over, what you might cut a line, all kinds of things. And that's not saying the landfill is not managed correctly. That's not what I'm talking about. But when you literally drive on trash, you risk, doing some damage. So hopefully at some point in the next 10 years, we can do a self-service station where we will offload trash in one place and the people in the landfill move the trash, where the trucks never have to run on the trash itself, not ours or anybody else's. Because the way the district is moving is to where we will get the waste that we compete for. They're going to say you can go to Helena-West Memphis. In former years, Lee County, Phillips County, and St. Francis County had to come, but they're changing that rule to where they can go either to Helena or to West Memphis if they decide to go to West Memphis. Marvel hasn't brought their trash here in over 15, 20 years, and they're right here in Phillips County. And so, it's one of those things where we got a lot of moving parts that we got to work on, but that landfill is going to be part of those things that need to be managed that'll help you to take care of your trucks.
Maybe we can just get a budget to do what we have now. Maybe for next week. Once we get a budget together, then we can.
Yes, sir. So I don't know what you're asking. You asked for the budget for the whole city? Or?
Yeah. We can get the budget and then definitely bring sanitation. The budget and then everybody knows we need new trucks.
But then we're training.
Yeah. So So now, if we're not gonna take action on these trucks, not to put any pressure on you.
Yeah, I'm going to put the pressure. Is there a motion, a second to get these trucks? Because we need to get this trash up, you know, or we're gonna continue to rent, have these contracts come in and get your trash. You're gonna pay either way. So right now we got some folks who will come in and get your trash at a slower pace, or we get our own equipment, get our trash up like it's supposed to. If you worry about the money, when these folks come, when these vendors come to get paid, Ms. Ramsey and the treasurer and I will pay them. So it's best that we get our own trash. I pay somebody else to get our trash because we're losing. So there's a motion and a second to get these guys. Because if not,
What I was going to say, Mr. Mayor, there wasn't any action on the trucks. We need authority to contact with somebody to
pick up the trash.
to do the trash on the commercial side. And the proposal we got is about $176, $177 an hour to do that. We can continue to do it the way we're doing it to the extent that that's subsidized.
But it's
So, yes,
No.
buy your own truck, run it and operate it, but you gotta take care of it.
I need to play it. Mr. Tina, what are y'all proposing us to do?
First, let's go have a budget. And we budget on everything.
So when you have this budget, when you have that, you still got to spend this money that we're spending to get your cash. We're spending, Mr. Turner, what for these contracts? We're spending what you're paying a month on it. So why not just get it? You spend it anyway, so you're gonna tip away to a budget and you still have to spend it anyway. And your trash still, and you're gonna pay somebody to come in and get your trash. And Miss Ramsey gonna do as we always do. We're gonna pay these folks because we need our trash picked up. But still, if you wait, that if you wait like you saying you're gonna wait, you still gonna have to pay these things to $20,000. You could have made the first month to pick up your trash now. So just help me out with that. You said we're gonna wait, but these folks gonna come Friday, like last week. The week before, we said we get $10,000. So you gonna wait? It's gonna cost you another 10. You could have had $6 more thousand a month. Common sense. You could have had $6 more thousand and paid a month payment. You want to wait? But every time the trash, they're not throwing trash in your yard. They're throwing it. They're not talking about knocking on your door, talking about getting my trash. You're not saying. So what I'm asking you all to do is let's get these trucks, because at Friday, if we pay Mr. Sellers, what do we pay Mr. Sellers? Better today, $17,000. What you want to wait, Miss Brown? So that's two payments. We gave somebody less than 2 weeks because these trucks. You all want to wait. I want you to tell the public you all want to wait. But this game is $17,000 today. Tomorrow. 2 weeks. So tell me how we got people that say, let's make this decision. So watch this. We gave him $10,000 before Christmas because we owe him 30. Am I correct? We owe him 30. So you all telling me, we're just gonna wait for our trash to get picked. We're gonna keep waiting. Wait for what? And you paying this money? He gonna get paid. He like the fact that he gets to pick up your trash. We're gonna have to make it work. I mean, asking them, ask me.
No, I'm not.
What you think I'm here for? Thank you. Ms. Davis moved, we can go ahead and get these truckers there safe. 800.
Don, what do you think?
I can't count money this way. I'm hearing we paid this person this much, we paid them this, we paid them that, but I'm not seeing it. I don't know what the math is. I mean, I'm just hearing words. I don't see dollars. I don't see numbers. And what I would,
Something by next week. I'm happy to come for a special meeting.
what I would like to do is, I mean, if this is gonna be from sanitation, it should be a part of sanitation's budget for this year. And what I'm hearing from the treasurer is that he doesn't know what the numbers are, so he didn't include it in his proposed budget. And so I'm just saying, look, I want my garbage to get picked up every day. I'm looking at a dumpster at my office that hasn't been dumped since Christmas, so it's overflowing. I understand they need the trucks. However, I can't count money of this magnitude in my head. And so if we gotta spend 6 figures this way, and we can show it on paper, then I can approve it this way.
So would you like?
It's just too big of a deal to talk about it. You gotta put the information on paper.
And I understand it, but as I see it, I didn't understand when former mayors were here. They were talking about budgets and how we spending money. I didn't run day-to-day operations, so I couldn't see. Now that I do, I see that when you're paying $45,000 to fix a truck and you get it back for 2 hours and it's back, you just wasted $45,000. So what I say is this: whatever you all suggest, would you suggest? I'm taking you. I mean, because I'm just trying to see what do y'all want to do at this point? Because I did a lot of singing. And
I think we want the truck. I mean, everybody wants the truck. We just want to make sure we got the money to do it. Somebody's going to put together a budget for us, so hopefully we'll be voting for the trucks that you.
It's not what I want. It's what the city needs.
Of course. But you're leading. You're leading,
right? But as I lead, I'm questioning about, oh, can we do this? And I'm here just like the treasurer and the clerk is. I'm here and I'm sure. I'm telling you the numbers. And if I had access to what they have access to, I'll go run and print these stubs off to show you what we paid. Matter of fact, Miss Renita Danley has done it. I got a copy of my desk to show what we paid.
I think we need an overall budget. How much we're paying for employees, how much we're paying for trucks, how much we're paying for gas, how much we're paying for everything. That's how any major corporation works. But we don't know. All we're saying, we're gonna spend $805,000 on 3 trucks.
We have a budget. The mayor has submitted a budget.
But
This isn't included
that's
in
not
that
included.
budget.
That's not included in the budget.
This isn't, because this is my first time seeing this. And in the budget that the mayor submitted in December, sanitation, we already have a truck that we're paying for. That's in the budget for $93,000. And that's a one-time payment. It's not monthly. And I think we have one.
How can we spend $45,000 on repair on the truck 2 weeks later, we gotta send it back?
I'm not saying that's the case. What I'm saying is I haven't had a chance to look through and see how they can fit.
Got this tonight.
That's the only thing that I'm saying. I don't know if it'll work or not. I just haven't had a chance to look at it. That's the only thing I can say.
Well, how can we expect us to make a decision tonight when you just hand to?
Now, the city, I mean, you need the trucks.
So this table is until.
You need them. I just can't tell you.
I move the table.
But if you want an opinion from me, whether we can pay for them or not, I just can't give you that. I can't give you an honest opinion right now.
Be assured that we're gonna pay for it. We can repossess it.
I mean, you could the trucks. more than likely, these trucks will be automatically deducted from the check. So the trucks will be paid. The thing is I can't tell you if those payments come out automatically, what other things aren't going to be paid, or if something else would or would not. I just can't tell you that right now. And I'm just looking at these numbers right now.
Okay, go on to the next.
And like I said, I'm not saying that it can't be done. I'm just saying I don't know.
On the 21st.
Anything else on the agenda?
No, that's it. Well, the payroll change resolution, but it can wait. We've been here almost 2 hours.
Like that. How much is our total income a year?
I think this year we'll get what so far. I need to go back and I'm going to go back and try to hammer it down a little bit better. But right now I got about $8.3 million in the general fund.
What other funds do we have?
Street fund, landfill, district court.
And that excludes water too, right?
Well, I'm talking about like city.
Well, water is it?
So, I mean, when I say city, I mean, we have two separate financial statements.
I'm saying, but I was saying for the sake of the audience. You say
No,
8.3
no,
million
no,
for
no,
general
when I
fund.
said it was 8.3, I meant for city government, not excluding the water department.
What is the mayor?
Mayor's looking for a document.
Trying to get from the water company to subsidize.
We're not trying to get any additional money from the water department. What we're trying to do is just get the money that they owe us for sanitation fees.
Right.
So if they just pay us the sanitation fees that they owe us on a regular basis.
How much is that?
I mean, they don't, like, we average about $135,000 in sanitation fees right now, somewhere in the neighborhood, 130 a month. But we don't get it all every month. We may get 50,000, may get 75, we may get 130,000.
Right.
So it's not consistent, right? And so that creates a lot of cash flow issues.
Right.
But so if we were getting that money consistently, there wouldn't be a problem with paying for it. But like right now, it's budgeted. I budget for 2025 as if we are getting the money, time, and all of it that we're supposed to get. That's what the budget is.
Was saying historically what he's saying, because the water revenue was not sufficient to operate, the water company has essentially been borrowing from the city's general revenue sanitation fee for years. And at some point, the audit showed that they owed the water utility, the general fund, about $1 million. And so, as the rates are going up now, the water utility should be self-sufficient. So the funds that they said they receive monthly, the sanitation department should start receiving. And so you're not borrowing from the water company. The water company is finally being able to sit on its own bottom and support itself.
And I'm not saying that we can't pay for the trucks. I'm just saying I haven't had a chance to plug these numbers into the budget. That's the only thing I'm saying.
And I understand. I mean, you know, as I look at it, I don't want to just jump into something, but you know, we gotta have something. If it makes financial sense that if we spending this kind of money a month on renting, and just like we paying big truck rentals, a nice piece of change a month, we don't do anything. We stay kind of in trash wouldn't have been a big issue. We paying big truck rentals, we paying wash sellers and different things. It's too much. I mean, it's like.
Now, at this point, you're approaching the 2 hour mark. You're hour and 51 minutes. It's 7:51. Just want to remind you all that.
Say
So it's 7:52.
So the only question, I guess, no, I don't know. If you don't approve the trucks, and that's your choice. What do you want us to do on the commercial trash? Do you want us to try to contract with somebody to help us with that, or just keep picking it up with another boom?
We're paying $48,000, right now, is that right?
Well, we were committed to 48,000. That's down because the big truck loans are no longer being rented.
So
So
if we have to rent, that's what we'd be paying,
that's what we were.
that's what we work.
That's what we were being charged with, including the big truck loan. Wash sellers started out supplementing us, and then a truck went out in the sanitation department, and he became the replacement of that
To
truck.
buy these 3 trucks, what's the monthly payment?
$16,000.
$16,000 a month
Yes, sir.
to buy all 3 trucks?
That's what the proposal is. Yes, sir.
Who's financing this one?
Some commercial capital company. That's who financed the landfill earlier 2024.
The interest,
On the 5 years, it's 7.49%. That's what's on your.
So about 16,000 compared to 48.
Okay, I make a motion that we buy the 3 trucks and pay the thing. Lay down.
I made 30 minutes ago, but it's, mine wasn't important.
With the second?
No, it died. But like I said, she made the motion.
Okay, well, just,
No, go ahead, that's fine.
I see.
But most
Well, I
of the
didn't make a motion.
Yeah. Did we get a second, so we can move on?
second.
That's second. Discussion. Mr. Messina did ask the question, could Parliament's bank financing for us?
So what?
Mr. Messina asked the question, could Parliament's bank financing for us? I asked him, we certainly like we did with our local banks. See if our local banks would like to help the city at some point. So I think it's a good suggestion. Why don't we ask our good local team, Harvest Bank, where they can help us finance these trucks, and maybe we can get a cheaper interest rate. Let's see. Talk to the likes of.
Well, it seems to me that the council first decides whether you're gonna buy it. And then on the financing, you can let people compete for that as well. If partners is the better deal, let partners do the. I mean, Mr. Franklin might
We
find
got a motion
out.
on the floor, we got a second.
We're discussion.
We're discussing.
So I think so what we'll do is, if we approve it, that's like part of the one. That's a good thing. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. St. Columbia?
Yes.
Mr. Messina?
Yes.
Dr. Miller? Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Etherly?
Abstain.
1 abstention, 1 absent, 4 yes.
The last item is on, I'm willing to let it carry over to me again. As they say in church, here we meet again.
What?
I don't know if is that controversial? I mean,
The payroll.
yeah, you'll move it from every 2 weeks to 15th in the last year. We talked about it. Is anything controversial? What are you gonna do?
The payroll change resolution.
So we need to write a resolution. We need to submit a resolution.
We got a resolution. The question is, does the council want to adopt it or no? The other question, whether you adopt this or not, we're going to ask you to consider going to payroll by direct deposit, which we have to get ready for that, but we're going to need your authorization.
Payroll first.
No, we don't want to do that. We don't
Yeah,
wanna do that. I thought we decided that at the last meeting. We said-
No, you said you didn't want to do it. And many times it happens at the meeting. You say you don't want to do something, you think that's what everybody voted on, but that was not a vote.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like that's gonna be controversial. So we'll take it back.
Yeah, so
My
we
question is, do you want 26 pay periods or 24?
Okay, Mr. St. Columbia, do we have a motion from you?
No,
You all,
I move we adjourn.
choose what you want.
I move we adjourn.
Oh, was that, see, it was,
This bill is not here, so.
was it on the agenda? It was on the agenda?
All I know is table.
Okay. I thought it was tabled to the next meeting. Let's put him on the agenda for next meeting.